Hello everybody, my name is Walter and this is episode 23 of my Redstone Commands Series. In this episode I want to cover the XP or experience command. Now obviously the experience command, or its short form XP, is used to manipulate the experience of players. It differentiates here between the experience level and the experience points. The level is the number displayed over the experience bar, and the points is the amount of experience since the last level up. So it's not the total experience, but the experience since last level up. Both, by the way, are signed 23-bit integer numbers, so they have a maximum of around 2 billion, which means that in-game you can only reach a level, an experience level of around 238 million. With the experience command, you can go higher, up to roughly 2 billion. This command obviously is rather useful if you are building an adventure map with some kind of questing system where you want to give the player obviously some experience for their quests, and where you might want to implement some kind of system that gives the player some advantages according to their level. Anyway, let's go to the syntax. So the syntax of this command is pretty simple and depends just on what you want to do. So you have basically two things you can do with this command. You can first query the current XP level or points of a player, or you can change them. Let's start with the query. So you start with the name of the command, either experience or the short form XP. Those are completely synonymous. XP is just a bit faster to write. Then query, which is the mode basically. After that, you define the target of this command. This must be a single player. So you can use a player name, or you can use a target selector. If you use a target selector that can target more than one entity at a time, you have to limit it to one. And after that, you have to specify whether you want to know the levels or the points. Again, levels is this number here, points is the amount since last level up. On the other hand, if you want to change the current number, you have again two options. You can either add to the current number, you can also add negative numbers if you want to effectively remove, or you can set, which overrides the number. The command is pretty straightforward. You start with the name of the command, experience or XP, then the mode, either add or set. Then you specify the targets or target. This can be a player name or this can be a target selector. This time you don't have to limit it to one. Following that, you will specify the amount. This can be, again, a positive or negative number between plus minus 2 billion effectively. And finally, you specify whether you can specify whether you want to target the levels or the points. If you don't specify it, you will default 2 points. And with that, let's get to a few examples. So here just the simple queries. So here I'm querying my own level, which is obviously 999, or my points, which is almost 8,000 here. If I want to check whether a player has a certain level, I can actually do this in a target selector. So here I'm setting the experience levels for all players that have a experience level over 9,000. And I'm setting this to 0. So basically, this is an anti-cheater command, you could say. Next, here I would add 1,000 levels to my own account, basically. And finally, here I'm removing 1,000 points from my experience. So let's show this in action. So obviously, currently there is no player with over 9,000 levels, so nothing happens. I can add 1,000 levels. You can see the number goes up and up and up. And I can also remove 1,000 points, and you can see the experience bar gets reduced. So now let's quickly add a few more levels so that we are over 9,000. And let's check this command again. And now you can see the level number disappears, so I'm back to level 0. And let's add another 1,000. You can see I'm back to 1,000 again. And now let's quickly go below. And you can see in the moment I go actually below 0 with the point number, I actually reduce the level. So this doesn't stop at 0, it actually goes into the next lower levels. And that's basically all I wanted to show you considering the experience command. I hope you enjoyed this little episode and well, see ya.